Good evening, everyone. Demon Phil here. Demon Phil's hell of a show, and we're about to have some fun with this. If you will, let me know in the comments. You can see and hear me. I'd appreciate that. To my knowledge, according to StreamYard, the only place you can do this on this particular one is on YouTube. I had to set up a couple of new places on there, so we're trying to get that up and running. Oh, cool. You can actually see it on Facebook as well. Excellent. Make sure to go up to the top where the description is and everything, and click on that to go ahead and say that you're going to give permission for StreamYard, because a lot of you are coming up Facebook user. Let's see. And if it's not over there, I will take care of that on the next show for certain. We're having, like I said, this is a work in progress. I've actually got you up on Facebook over here on the side. So I've got Scott, I've got Tom, Dan. Hey, I appreciate all y'all being here. All right, so that's up and running. Let's go ahead and give this about another minute. If y'all get this shared out and let's get more people involved in here, I'd certainly appreciate that. Hopefully everyone had a good day today, got some stuff accomplished. Rob, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. All right. Everything looks good on my end over this way. It looks like we're ready to do this thing. All right, let me go ahead and remove the banner, make this official. All right. Demon Phil's hell of a show coming up to you live tonight. And I have got not one guest, but two, because I have a guest who brought a surprise guest with him. Love doing that sometimes. So we're going to have some fun with that. Before I get too involved in that, I want to go ahead and start off with that icon right there. Do you see that up there? It says ClickCon 2020. I think Tom Hutchison knows a little bit about that, but since he's not up here right now talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and let you know. September 12th. Get ready for it, because it's coming. And if you don't know enough about that, that is Tom Hutchison, CB Zane, Wendy Steen Shaner, putting three heads together to go ahead and come up with an amazing online con something. They won't tell me a lot about it, so that's as best I've got right now. But it's an online con that's bigger than normal. So we're getting ready for that. We're getting excited. And if you want to know more information about that, on the 20th of this month, I have all three of them back up here to go ahead and discuss further what we know more about what's going on with ClickCon. Maybe even a reveal. You never know with Tom. We'll have to see on that end. So be here on the 20th, and we will have them back up here. And of course, I'll have all that information up on my site and let you know from there. But definitely, ClickCon 2020. You don't want to miss that. All right. So that being said, I also have Totally Rad Comics, which is Totally Rad Life of Violet, and that's Jim Noble, and he is one of my sponsors on here. I've got Codex Entertainment, which is Luis Torres. Luis Torres has got Lily Demoness and Ace and Starlet. Hey, David, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. I have got Sub-Zero Mission, which is excellent because they actually go out in their area to give the tools necessary to survive the winter months to the homeless veterans out there. I have got 183 Degree Studio, which is Kara Nicole, Albert Trujillo. I have got Naughty Fairies, which is Wendy Steen Shaner. And we have got Pantsless Pizza. And yes, I even had a business talk about Pantsless Pizza today. So get ready, because reveals are going to be coming up here pretty soon. Just going to leave it at that right now. So we're going to have some fun with that one. So probably within the next month or two, you're going to start seeing some stuff with that. Absolutely promised. All right. So enough about going ahead and jumping into all of that. I appreciate everyone being here tonight and joining in. So here's what we're going to do. I have got a guest on here tonight, and if you don't know who he is, let me go ahead and show you real quick. Shiny. Ooh. Elysian Fields. Now, not only do I have this guest up here, but I have done an online review on this myself, just going and looking at it, and I'm going to go ahead and give him the results of that tonight, because he doesn't know anything about that. So it's always fun to do that. So he's looking forward to it and kind of dreading it at the same time for whatever reason. I don't understand. I'm not that menacing, I don't think. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring out Michael Oden.
Oh my goodness. We're
Welcome
here.
to the show.
How's it going, Phil? How are we doing tonight, bud?
Hey, it is going great. Appreciate you being here, and we're going to get into that here in just a moment. Did you want to go ahead and introduce our guest tonight?
Oh, well, I mean, maybe. No. What do you say, Scott? You want to come out of hiding?
No, I'm not ready.
All right, guys, this is Scott Rosema, the great one and only, and one of our very talented cover artists for the next the next edition of Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit. And I think he has something to reveal with you guys here in a little bit. We're gonna save that as something special. But going ahead, Scott, you want to talk about yourself for a sec, real quick?
I have my pizza paddle of reveal. I will show you in a little while. This has been it's been very exciting because Michael will talk more about this in terms of how we met, but having been on the air and other broadcasts, we kind of touched base with each other a little bit. I found out about Michael's project, and frankly, there was an irony there. There was a kind of serendipity at work where he was talking about his project dealing with Greek mythology, and truth to tell, I don't think I told him this, but when I was about 10 years old, I actually sat down and read the Iliad and the Odyssey, the original poem by Homer. And my mom was just blown away, and I was talking about to my teachers in school, and they're saying, "Who is this freakish kid that doesn't read, other things?" But having fallen in love with those tales, and that was my introduction to a lot of the Greek mythologies, and then of course I followed a lot of those early Hercules movies. My icon on Facebook is the Steve Reeves Hercules, so I've always had a fondness for the Greek mythology because it's in direct line with the great superhero comics that I also read growing up. So when I found out about Michael's project, I thought to myself, this is just so directly up my alley that I'm surprised I didn't get a rash right away. So I'm not even sure where that was going, but it seemed right. So it's been really exciting to get hitched up with it, and Michael told me more about the story, and he showed me some of the art, and it's just so exciting, so great. So I knew I had to be a part of it, and we finagled, we talked, we begged, we cried, we screamed at each other, and then it finally worked out a deal. and so now I'm going to be contributing this artwork that we're going to show in a little bit.
Excellent. And I'm definitely looking forward to that because a lot of people know that I get a lot of things sent to me, that I get kind of first reveals and everything, and I keep a lot of secrets. I was asked actually by Michael if I could, if I wanted to go ahead and see it a couple of days ago, or if I want to wait until the show. I wanted to wait until the show because I want him to see my reaction, because I know you can't see my reaction whenever I'm on Messenger or something like that. My jaw drops and tears of joy start coming down because I enjoy the stuff that he comes up with on this. So I wanted to show that to all of y'all and be able to enjoy it myself as well. And
well, you know, a big crier. I know that. So,
and we're going to be getting into that artwork here very shortly. First off, we want to go ahead and start off with where this began. So, again, Elysian Fields is where it began with issue 0. Now, with issue 0, whenever you were doing this, as I recall, and this wasn't very long ago, but I'm very old, so it's hard to keep track of this. Who are you again? No, I'm joking.
The brain slips.
So whenever you had Elysian Fields going and you had it running on crowdfunding, you didn't have a lot of backing right off the bat. It was like it kind of came out and it just kind of went stagnant right off the bat. And then you started getting some spots on some shows and getting some notice out there. And that's where I noticed you was actually on Advocating Network.
Yeah.
Is where I first recognized you and your work on there. And if I'm not mistaken, it was on Kickstarter Pause is where
Yes,
I got it
Rob
first.
Anderson.
So that being said, and kind of given the background history on there, go ahead and tell everyone that's here right now that has not read this book yet. And if you haven't, shame on you. You need to get hold of this book. And if you haven't gotten it, that's the man right there. You need to go to that man right there, message him, find out how to get this book in your hands because it needs to happen. But go ahead and tell us, issue 0.
He should be feeling a sensation in his armpit right about now.
Oh, of course. It's so itchy. So when it comes down to the 0 issue, we're just setting the stage. Elysian Fields is a tournament-based book, but that's not where the 0 issue begins. The 0 issue begins with the end of the life of one of the greatest heroes in mythological stories. And it follows that journey into the underworld where he kind of finds his peace and makes his way and gets untethered from that peace to make his way into this arena to fight in the tournament. And that's what you see in the 0 issue. And, you know, I think we did a pretty solid job in setting that up. I was really happy. Marcelo just fucking knocked it out of the park with his artwork. The Marcelo did our pencils, inks, and colors. Triple threat artist right there. He's outstanding.
Yeah, really good stuff.
You know, we set our stage, and we will be concluding the first act of that stage at the beginning of our next book, The Pyramid Gambit. But the whole thing that drives it is, you know, Achilles has reluctantly agreed to fight in this tournament because of the promise made by the Greek lord of the underworld, Hades, who is effectively giving him anything that his heart desires, really, at the end of the tournament. There are things that Achilles thinks that he wants now that he might not want later. That's one of the big struggles of his character throughout this journey, is the person he wants to be versus the person he's always been. And, you know, I think that's a very human struggle. And, you know, I feel like that's something that everyone every day deals with is, you know, we want to do things the right way. We want to make the right choices. We want to move forward. But sometimes we make stupid decisions that hold ourselves back, that are based off of past tendencies and everything like that. And habits are hard to break. And so, yeah, that's really what the core of Elysian Fields is this this journey throughout this abyssal tournament of champions, where you have all these mythological pantheons from all these different cultures. Their gods have assembled champions of their respective mythologies to fight in this arena against one another. And the crown prize is whoever wins, whichever mythology wins, that Lord of the Dead, that Lord of the Underworld, becomes the reigning rule of the Underworld for the next millennium.
Yeah.
And,
now,
yeah.
Can I interrupt for a second, Michael?
Yeah.
To everybody listening, that is so awesomely epic in its concept. It could very well have been one of the actual Greek mythologies, because it deals with these big picture notions that the mythologies were so phenomenal at portraying. And, you know, having found that out was one of the key things that just made me, I really want to be a part of this. So it was that type of rich, fully delving into the actual mythologies and actually branching off with what is so true to the originals that it just, you know, unbelievable. Of course, then I found out Michael's actually you're like an expert or something, or you're pretty learned in it.
I'm pretty when it comes down to Greek myth and everything, I definitely know my stuff. Arthurian lore, I have a massive love and knowledge for.
And it
Viking,
shows.
I'm okay at Norse myth, But like I've had to do my research,
Like I said, it shows. I mean, if I had learned that you were going to make a book with Greek mythology, but it's all about, well, Hercules is going to find out if he can bench press more than another, if it was something stupid like that, I would have just passed me right by. But this, it grabbed me from the very beginning. It really did.
And such kind words coming from such a talented man. I really appreciate it, Scott. That means the world to me. And like,
Sure.
It's been great working with you so far. But yeah, no. So like that's pretty much what we have set up in the Zero issue, and that's where we're going in Pyramid Gambit. Is we kind of tie up what was established in the Zero issue, and we really start to go into that first real round of the Abyssal Tournament of Champions that Achilles participates in. And so he is accompanied by his cohorts of Team Hades. We have Theseus, the slayer of the Minotaur, Heracles, son of Zeus and conqueror of 12 labors, and we have Achilles, the Aristo-Achaeon, the greatest of the Greeks. And that's they're going to be going up against Imhotep, the champion of Team Osiris. And
awesome.
And it's exciting stuff.
Now, before we get too involved in Pyramid Gambit, I want to go ahead and stick on this for just a second because
that's absolutely fine.
I'm going to go ahead and do my review on this one real quick, if that's okay.
Hey.
So, first off, with my reviews, I always base it on several factors. So the first factor is always how it's received. Whenever I got this, it was actually in bag and board. It was sent really well, and as you can see, no dinged corners, no crevices, creases in there, no nothing. I mean, it's actually in perfect condition. And I actually got two of them because I ordered two of them on that just to make sure that one of them was going to come in really well because it's going to get slapped. So,
that's awesome.
That being said, whenever you take it out of the package, that's the next thing I look at is the feel of the book. So with the feel of the book, the outside, the cover, the jacket, and everything on there I love how you use the thicker on there because it gives a feel of a book. It's not just that paper thin. You feel like you're going to sneeze and rip something off of there. So that has got good on there. The inside paper is the same thing. It's just the right weight in there where it's not too thin on there, but it's not too thick, so I can actually turn the pages and get into it, no problem. Now, to get into the meat of this, because this is here the fun part, this is where you get into the content. I always base it in a few different factors on there. It's got to be based on panel structure, the art, the dialect, and the overall story, how well it gripped me. So, as far as the panels are concerned, everyone that has watched anything of mine knows I cannot stand basic 9-panel square, same page, that kind of thing. This is not. This is going to give you like something to see on there so you can kind of see what's going on. And that's just an example of it.
That is so beautiful.
So the panels are absolutely spot on. The dialect, you can lose somebody quicker than anything. You can write the best thing in the world, and if you don't have the correct dialect to go with the correct timeline or the correct area that you're dealing with or anything, this is right on point. So you saying, whenever you were saying that Michael's kind of an expert in this, it really shows in those aspects there.
Yeah.
So
I believe that.
The storyline. Is it a page turner? That's the biggest thing. Does it make me want to go ahead and go all the way down to that bottom right-hand corner and flip it over as fast as I can, go to the next and see what's going to happen? Absolutely. And I cannot wait for the sequels to this. Not just Pyramid Gambit. I want to see so much more coming out of this because it's not that you left it open for a sequel. I'm not saying that, and I'm not going to give away spoilers on this, but there is so much content that is... You can read a lot more into it than what it actually is, which means there's Easter eggs in here for other characters who will be involved. There's Easter eggs for other nationalities, other. You're in the underworld and you're having a tournament from Hades on this to go ahead and get ultimate power. What are the limits on that? Because I'm not seeing a lot of limits, and you're actually putting that directly on there.
It's awesome.
Now, you kind of took this a different stage because usually that's where I would end it. But at the end of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, how many pages are in just the storyline itself?
Of the next book or this?
No, of this one.
This one we're 24, I think.
Okay, so 24 pages of storyline, and it doesn't end there. You go into the back of it, and it starts showing concept art of a lot of the things that are going on. And we're talking about pencils, inks, colors. Now, for someone like me who is able to peek behind the curtain of the comic industry and all, this means the world to me, because this is something where I can see the birth and the evolution of how this became, and you can start to see how it's going to fold into other things as well. So as far as I'm concerned, if you don't have this book in your collection, then you and the demon are going to have some issues. So you need to go ahead and get up here, because this is demon approved. I'm telling you right now. Whoever does not have this needs to get it. And we've already got one person, Michael, you need to get a hold of. His name is Dan Stockwell. Dan, if you will reach out to Michael Oden, if you need his information, reach out to me and I will get you in touch with him. Dan wants to go ahead and get the book. He said he needs to get the book.
Good.
It's good to hear, Dan. I will say that we will have a limited amount of the holofoil on the Pyramid Gambit campaign. That's probably the easiest place to get the physical copy that Phil is holding, because we printed I printed a limited amount of them. I wanted it to be pretty much that the holofoils were a special thank you for the people that got us there on Indiegogo, and we are going to be having a few extra, but there will not be a lot. So the easiest way to do that is to for that holofoil is to sign up for the mailing list for Pyramid Gambit, so that when we launch, you'll be the first one on there and you can get one of those copies before they sell out. But
the
if
first of thousands,
yeah, not really. But what we do have available right now is, I've got the digital copy of the book. If you just want to read it, I'm more than happy to send that to you. We can talk like how much that is privately. I don't want to just like throw that out and have your business out there, but like we'll talk about that. And then if you want to get a hold of like the floppy or the black and white cut that we have coming in, let me know, and I might be able to work something out for you on that as well. But the holofoils, it is one of those things where it is, I have the amount that I have that are set for that for the next campaign and what we have going out for the second wave. So I cannot sell any of those really off to the side. So the best way to get a hold of that holofoil book will be on the next campaign.
Oh,
and Dan wants to know if you will sign it as well, which I don't.
All of the ones that are going to be available on the next campaign are getting upgraded to the deluxe package. They'll be signed and they will come with the Jim O'Reilly pinup.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Now, you mentioned about the Jim O'Reilly pinup, because that's the next thing I wanted to talk about, because the pinup that he did for there actually
is gorgeous. It's really good. I have a funny story about that after you show it.
I'm looking for it.
You have two of them.
No, I have it. Oh, I know. I've already got it up in the wall, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, I have select art that I put up on the wall whenever I first moved in, and that was one of them.
Phil, could you show that again?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and go for
it. I have to adjust my old eyes to what I'm seeing. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. I did see these. Oh, they're awesome.
Here.
Yeah. So Jim sends me. So Jim does this, and he initially only does. He was doing it as like a pencils and inks initially, and then he sent me the pencils and inks, and then he sent me like a whole bunch of different variations. And that last one was like the big one that I saw, and he was like, "So yeah, I'm not a professional colorist, so I understand if you just want to send the pencils and inks to your guy and have him do it." And I just went, "What?
Yeah.
Jim, no, this is incredible. This
awesome.
No, stop." Jim is one of the most like self-critical people that I've met in this industry, but he's so talented. Guy really, really has a gift with art and everything, and he more than delivered on that pinup. I was absolutely flummoxed, and he's just such a nice guy. Another person I met through that Indie Volt network. It was the first show that I was on with Indie Volt at Geekgasm, and he was there, and he was just like, "Hey, if any of you guys are interested in doing a pinup, just hit me up." And I went,
All roads lead to Varian Grant.
yes, please. Yeah, right?
Nothing is you, Phil. You got your own highway, but
Well, I mean, Comic Advocates is I kind of launched from over there a little bit as well too. So
Sure.
I'm not gonna take credit away from them by any means, because Rob and the rest of the crew over there helped me out considerably.
There we go.
Now, I'm going to ask, because I mean, Zero was a great success, actually. I mean, it actually did very well, and you had another phase on there where you went ahead and put a retail tier on there.
Yeah.
And the retail tier is nice because that way, not only for someone who wants to just collect and get a few extra copies or whatever, this is so you can start getting your stuff out there in the LCSs and out there in the actual stores. So what are we looking at as far as retail tiers possibly in the next one? Are we looking at doing a retail tier and offering that?
We are looking at doing a retail tier. We do. I do currently have it set up.
Okay, good.
We have it at a fairly low and competitive price. I wanted to make sure that the books were affordable. But they get 9 books, 3 copies of each main variant on the book. There will be like a few that aren't available. Scott's variant won't be in there because Scott's variant is for our hardcover deluxe edition. Yeah, Scott, your tier gets its own special thing, Scott. We've talked about this. And then Ted Lehman is doing a support our troops variant that will be exclusive to the Indiegogo as well. But we will have our main cover, the creator cover done by me, and Scott's having a heart attack.
I was getting the vapors there for a second.
And
just leave me behind.
It's okay, Scott. Your cover is going to be on one of these books. It's going to be on a special book, and we'll talk more about that here in a minute.
I hope so.
Dude, I spent way too much money for your thing not to be a part of the book. And then the third cover that'll be in that retailer perk is the Dragon Guard variant. And with that, that's actually a great segue. I can reveal the first one of these covers here for tonight, because I got the completed colors from Alonso Espinoza, the colorist of the Dragon Guard. So this variant is going to be called simply the Dragon Guard variant.
Oh, it's a cool name, Dragon Guard variant. I love it.
Yeah, well, so Kevin Sharp has his Indiegogo for his book that's called The Dragon Guard, and it's a beautiful looking book. It kind of feels like a love letter to all these 80s cartoons. And hold on one second. I'm just getting it ready for you guys.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No, because Chuck Pinot is in here, and the first comment he comes up with is special book that's like getting a short bus of comic books.
Oh, yeah, gee, thanks, man.
Yeah, Chuck is in here, yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Chuck. So here we go.
All right, let's go ahead and bring it up. Sweet.
Oh, is that Cat's Cabin? Oh, my. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, they delivered. So this is the Dragon Guard variant. I am considering having this be a virgin, because as great as my logo and everything.
What about a virgin?
Huh?
You said virgin. Virgin what? Who? What? Where?
as great as my logo and everything is, I don't know where I'd want to put it.
Sorry, my Roman jacket is showing there.
It looks so damn pretty, and I just we could just leave it like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Scott,
that's amazing. And Chuck said it's so sick.
It was funny. when I
I'm going
told,
to buy Kevin some new chops. I keep busting his so badly.
so like it's funny because when I told Scott that Kevin was involved, he's like, "Oh, Kevin and I are cut from the same cloth. Keep me up to date with everything he does because I want to one up him." And so we'll get to that here in a bit. We're gonna
Not
save
competitive at
Scott
all.
for deal. We really are, but like so. So that's the whole deal. Is that that Dragon Guard variant will be one of the things in that retailer perk is those three covers.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, we're really excited. I think if I recall correctly, we're going to be having that retailer perk price at, I want to say, what was it, $50 or something like that.
Oh, no.
I could be getting that mixed up with the retailer perk that we did for the Zero issue, because I know that we had that around the same price. But I got to talking to a whole bunch of people in the retailer game, and I was talking to them, and I had workshopped a whole bunch of different things. So let's take a look. I'm pulling up my list. So yeah, the retailer perk is $60. I was off by 10. The retailer book on the retailer perk will be $60, and that will include 9 copies of Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit, 3 of each cover. I think it's a pretty good steal, and it doesn't really hurt us. We cover the expenses of the books and still make a little bit of money off of it. And that's of course prior to shipping. That doesn't cover shipping and handling. And the exciting thing for that is I've been in talks with, speaking of Varian Grant, been in talks with Varian, and we are going to be partnering up with his Liberty boxes. And so all of the retailer books will be sent through within his Liberty boxes to ensure that they get to the stores undamaged, in good condition. Because that's one thing that I want to continue is we have got, there are too many people, and one that I will not name, in this industry that have gotten away with cheaping out on shipping and not protecting their books, and as a result, the consumer gets a damaged product.
Oh.
And that is unacceptable to me.
Oh yeah. That's
people have invested hard-earned money as a way to provide us as creators to continue honing our craft and provide themselves with a bit of escapism. And part of that experience of reading the comic book that you even touched on, Phil, is opening that package, seeing your book, holding it, taking it out of the bag, it's all a part of it, and it's something that is very dear to me.
It's a sign of respect. I mean, it's basically the creator going ahead and showing respect to the purchaser for this. I mean, you're already happy with the purchaser because, of course, you're getting money for it and everything like that. But you're showing that instead of just sending a note or telling them thank you, by going ahead and sending it the best way you possibly can, that's the best sign of respect you can do for any collector.
Yeah. Well, it also helps add to the entire line of value that you're offering, because not only are you really putting a shoulder to the wheel to develop and create, produce, and then sell a quality product, the fact that you're willing to invest just as much time and attention to customer service is what you're basically doing. Is you're creating and delivering a quality customer service, which is even more important for all of us independent folks, because we don't have the machinations of Marvel or Dark Horse or whatever behind us. So it not only behooves us to do that, but we have to do it because we have so much more at stake.
And like that's the thing is I don't understand how an indie creator could have so little pride in what they've done that they wouldn't go to every length to make sure that it got out there in a way that their audience could enjoy it. It just blows my mind.
If I could, whenever I do a commission for somebody and send away artwork, 8-inch masonite board is what I backed it with, as well as a couple layers of matte board, and then it's wrapped usually in plastic or in an envelope, and it comes pretty much in, impregnable, and I know a lot of other pros in years past and stuff where they just throw it in an envelope and just let it, and it's crazy. I mean, people they spend good money on what you're doing, and even if it's not a lot, it's still, it's hard. It's well-earned money, and they should feel they got a good experience, not just in the final product that they're going to have for X number of years down the road, but you want the initial experience to be something that stays with them too.
Exactly.
I get people tell me every so often that they use some of these boards that I send away with to patch walls and put in ceiling.
That's
so
awesome.
I think it needs to be done, as well as it should, as you said, Phil. It shows a level of respect and attention that you're paying to not just what you've done but to the people who are willing to invest and follow you.
Exactly. And speaking of original art, I just want to go ahead and bring this up real quick because Levi Hinton is out here in the audience, or he was earlier. Looking forward to our interview on Friday. Did I let that out loud? That is just so unlike me. And working on my new banner as we speak. So I have a new banner for the show and what it's going to look like and everything, and that's going to be on there. So
awesome.
Kind of segueing into that about dealing with the original art and dealing with people like that, because I know whenever he sends that kind of stuff to me, same way, it's going to be packaged in nice and neat because he doesn't want to have it damaged. Now, I want to bring up about the respect issue again, because we already mentioned about the military tier on there. I want to talk about that because that is huge to me. I am non-military, but my family was military. So I have a great amount of respect for anybody who was in the military and dealing with this. So go ahead and tell us about that tier.
So there's actually two. We have the Support Our Troops tier, which Ted Lehman, and I can now officially confirm, Farah Normaliza, the colorist of Peregrine Wings of the Falcon, and she also colored Ted's work on the Door Kickers cover, is going to be doing the colors for that. And so that perk is going to be a bit more expensive. So the standard perk of Elysian Fields of the Pyramid Gambit will be $15. The Ted Lehman Support Our Troops perk will be $25. And so with that perk, $10 of that purchase goes towards a donation to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. And so this organization not only raises money for veterans, predominantly of the Special Forces units and what have you, but also helps out their families, raises scholarships for their kids, a whole bunch of other great stuff. And so that's how that will work. We have a second perk tier called the Whole Enchilada, which has all of the Indiegogo exclusive covers on there. You've got the main cover, my creator cover, the Dragon Guard cover, and the Ted Lehman Support Our Troops cover, and that runs for $70, and again, $10 goes to the Special Forces Charitable Trust for that.
Awesome.
And so that's something that we're looking at. That's something that we're going to be doing for that, and those will also likely be shipped in a Liberty box as well. I need to talk to Varian about that and make sure that he has one, because I don't think that the standard. I think the standard Liberty box will be a bit too big for that perk tier. But I want to make sure again that people who order their product, they get it in a way that, it's part of that experience that we were just talking about. I want them to feel like their product has been protected.
Excellent.
No, I mean, and for everyone who's paying attention right now and everything, to the tier itself, what it includes is one thing. The price points that are on this, you start breaking that down on how much it is and how much stuff you're getting. The price points on this they're amazing. I mean, I'm just going to say that straight out loud. I mean, it is. So you definitely want to get on there. And And Dan Stockwell says, I need to back this. Yes, Dan, you do. And we need to get you on the mailing list to make sure that you know whenever it comes out and everything too. So we'll get that taken care of. Now, you have one other tier that we've been holding off on that I cannot hold off anymore because I'm on needles over here.
Oh, I'm sure. Scott, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Scott?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me comb my hair.
Of course. So as Scott is getting ready to reveal, let me talk a little bit about this. So, Zero Issue is a pretty big deal. I wanted to make sure that people who got this, we had that holofoil cover for the last book. We weren't going to be able to do one for this one. So I wanted to make a special experience for this campaign. So we are going to have a limited print of 50 units of a deluxe hardcover edition of Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit, that will have not only the Pyramid Gambit in it, but the Zero Issue in it as well. So you will have the 24 pages of story from the Zero Issue, the 54 pages of story from Pyramid Gambit, the character glossary that is going to be in all of the books, and an art gallery of all of Marcelo's concept work, every cover that we've had in the book, and the pinups that we've had done. Because that's the other thing, is that if you get on that mailing list, you're going to get an exclusive pinup done by Joe Tolliver from the Comics Cast Network. He's super excited. We got a really cool idea for that pinup. But anyways, on that cover, for that hardcover, that's where our friend Scott comes in. And so our hardcover,
I don't know, friend.
You know what, Scott? We've been dealing with each other for 3 months now. All right.
I guess we're joined by the umbilical cord by now. So
fair enough. So Scott is the guy that I had do the cover for this. I saw Scott's work after we met on that Indie Vault special, and I was blown away. And I was like, I need this guy to do a cover for the book. And
I'm glad you did, because this so far has been a blast. And
yeah, and let me tell you, what we've got here for you tonight is something special. So you know what, Scott, you're the main event, buddy. Go on ahead.
Okay. Well, then I'm glad you said that, because I've been compared to the size of a circus tent. So
let's get him on full screen, Phil.
Before I display the artwork on the pizza paddle, I'm going to do. Let me just quick show you. This was Michael's initial.
Oh God! Please don't.
Okay. Now I won't leave it up long. I just wanted to give people an idea. He said, maybe Achilles taking his helmet off and with a spear and a shield, and there's Hercules and what's the other character's name? Theseus.
Theseus, yeah, from the Minotaur.
So I took that, and I ended up doing the finished penciling of this. Now this is the finished pencil of that cover.
You need to tell them what that thing in the back is.
That the back silhouette, the line art you see is going to be a line art silhouette of Hades.
That is our version of Hades there on the cover too. I cannot gush enough about this. It's so fucking cool. Just look at Achilles there. Oh, he looks so vicious.
Then right here, as he's charging forward, he's got that. His whole face is in shadow with only his eyes burning out from behind there, and the shield. Then we have Hercules, which Michael said to me he's always pictured Hercules being kind of like Juggernaut in size.
So that was the thing, was that I had somebody had asked me if there was any art direction that I had given to make any character look like anybody else, and I was just like. I was like, not really. The only one that I had was for Hercules. He should look like a cross between Craven the Hunter and the Juggernaut. And it's like you have the physique of the.
I tell you, when you get a direction like this sketch, you're kind of intimidated. I kind of thought, oh man,
dude, it was fucking miserable. Oh
You
god,
set
I remember
that
doing that. I
bar
was like, this looks so bad.
so
I was
so high. How can I ever?
dude, I remember I was on that Skype call with Scott, and I was trying to draw this mock-up, and my pen was jamming, like was not working, and because initially I was using a sketch pencil, and it wasn't coming up deep enough for him to see, so I had to go over it with a pen, and I was like, this looks so fucking terrible. And I was like, all right, please don't judge me based off of this. Okay.
I had a classic response because as Michael was sketching that out, he says, I'm going to do a drawing for you. And I kept thinking, no, you're not. No. It's really not a drawing. You're trying. But
technically, we're going to make that a stretch goal, though, right? I mean, that's a stretch goal to go ahead.
Yeah. We're going to be making there's going to be like raised ink prints of this, and
no, there is not. There's
absolutely not. Cover.
I did a creator cover that I am proud of, and that's what it is. We're not even. I'm embarrassed that was on the show, Scott. I didn't even know.
I'm going to make screen prints of it on watercolor paper. Going to make a banner. It's going to be at Comic-Con. It's going to be like,
oh, there we go.
I am glad that you talked about stretch goals though, because we do have a few of those.
Did you make a poster of this artwork?
Are we making a poster of that artwork?
So I thought, my mistake. I thought we were going for that. All right.
No. We're not touching that horrible mock-up. Oh god, it was bad. I hated it was one of those things like, this is fucking horrible. And then it was right after I had a conversation with Scott too, where I was like, yeah, I like it. I don't consider myself at like a professional grade, but I draw for fun. And so like now I'm sitting here doing this mock-up, like, this is fucking awful. I remember within like the next day, I was just like, because I am very embarrassed that was the first thing that I sent you. Here are some things that I have done that don't suck.
I've got to tell you, Phil, when he said he likes to draw for fun, I thought to myself, that's fun. I don't understand.
Oh man.
I guess maybe we are kind of joined to the hip now, because I don't kid with more people like this, because usually it results in people hitting 2x4s and all that, or sometimes pizza paddles.
There you go.
Damn.
But now,
so Phil, what do you think, Phil?
Yeah, my jaw was on the ground, and I was keeping from cursing too much over here from going, holy shit. Yeah, it's I immediately saw the outline of Hades in the background. I immediately saw that as soon as you turned it around. So I knew what it was. I didn't know anything about what it was going to be. I have no idea about this.
I am glad you said that, because that was the piece. That was the thing that really pulled it all together for me.
Yeah,
because I had the rough sketch all together with the figures.
Yeah,
and then I thought, I got to do something to pull that together.
Exactly.
Initially, Michael thought maybe we could have like a drawing of the arena that they're in.
Right.
I thought that's not bad, but I kept thinking, well, that's going to be awfully static. There's going to be, and I wanted to have this have as much action coming forward as possible. So I thought, well, what if we I'm huge on symbolism and all that. So I thought, I could put a silhouette of Hades behind him because he's the master manipulator, and it shows that he's basically surrounding all the characters. So it was one of those bing light bulb.
Oh, yeah. No,
it turned out great, man. It really did.
And I tell you, the ink I got in mind for this, I'm going to be using steel pen and everything. I'm
gonna go ahead and say right now, if at all possible, I want both of y'all to sign mine, because I'm definitely getting the hardcover. That's a have to.
Well,
I'll do what I can do about that.
Really? All right, fine.
For Phil, for you, if you get that, when you get that hardcover, like. I'll get Scott's. I'll figure out a way to ship it to Scott, and then I'll pay for a label from Scott's place to yours, so that way it should be a super easy thing.
That way, whenever it gets to Scott can go ahead and take your print that you did of your initial artwork and just put it inside there so I can have that too.
Fuck you, Phil. Scott, I want you to burn that.
To his grave.
No, I mean, it's absolutely great. I mean, you've got some great stuff in here. You had mentioned that you briefly mentioned about stretch goals.
We did. So I do have stretch goals, and so the big thing that we are going to be doing with stretch goals is the one that I really want to hit is 20K. I think that there is no reason why we can't get to 20K, and so leading up to 20K, we're going to set one of the big things that I learned from the last campaign was setting a high campaign goal is horrible. You are on pins and needles suspense the entire fucking time, and you're just like, oh, am I gonna make it? And it feels really good to be able to hit your initial goal super quick. So I made our initial goal to the first stretch goal, and you know, I kept it high enough to where, you know, it wouldn't look like it would be a solid amount if we for whatever reason didn't pass that completely. But so the fully funded is 2,000. When we hit 2,000, every copy of Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit, will be signed by me. And then the march to 10K is 5K. It will be when we hit $5,000. Trading cards with art drawn by Luke Stone will come with each basic tier of the book. Surpassing the 0 issue is 10,000, and we're doing a Mark of Hades. We'll do a Mark of Hades sticker for all backers. I should mention physical backers because there is a digital tier of the 0 issue available. The Story Endures is 20K, and that will earn an additional 10 pages of story to the Pyramid Gambit.
Oh, awesome. That's gonna be cool.
So that is what we're looking at doing, and you know, Phil is also has a bit of a stake in this now as well, because I'm also going to be announcing here that the new director of marketing for Nine Realms Publishing is none other than our Phil Locklear here. So,
that's awesome.
You got your work cut out for you now because you're tied to this.
Yes.
One way or another.
But
I go down with it, Phil.
Well, I tied myself to it for a reason, because I believe in the project, because you believe in the project so much, and I saw what you did with the 0 issue. We've talked so much after and during the 0 issue, and this was just kind of like I got to do something to get my name out there to help you out with this. I don't have a lot of followers, but the ones that I do have are pretty loyal, and if they see that it's Demon approved, they pretty much pay attention. Dan is one of them right there, that he's hooked, he's ready to do this, he's chomping at the bit, so we're ready to get him fixed. At the same time, Dan and everyone else that's in here, and everybody who's going to be watching this, share this thing out. Get everyone involved. Let's not keep this to ourselves. Let's share this out to everybody and get everybody going on this. And if I'm not mistaken, we talked about this, and we're looking at anywhere from a mid to late September launch on this is what we're looking at?
Yeah, mid to late, if I can talk. Mid to late September is the plan. I would like to hit 200 subscriptions on the mailing list before we launch. Okay. Because to me, if we have 200 people that are potential customers and they're buying just a single book, you know, that's that's 15. I'm terrible with math. Point is that's a hefty chunk. You know, I think that at the very least, that's 3,000. So we will have been fully funded and made it 1,000 past that. So and that's the thing is I feel that there's a lot here that people are going to want. We are going to even have, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rosema, but you are going to be putting up the original art of your cover up on our campaign as well.
For the right amount of, you bet.
Yeah. No, and that we'd already talked about that, and I believe we can talk about that here behind the scenes because I prefer to do business off camera.
Oh yeah.
No. We're gonna really up the gaining aspect for anybody who, for the right support. But yeah, definitely the original art will be brought into play.
Absolutely.
The problem is, Scott, that if you have the original artwork of yours up there, how is that going to shine next to his original art? Because his is going to be up there and his is going to get sold first. I mean,
I'm going to take a hit. I got to be honest. I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer. I have faced adversity in my life before. I have, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a public ass whooping. Is what I'm going to get.
Oh God!
I don't know how I'm going to get through it, but by God, if I just have enough Mel Yellow, oh my God, I'm out. Oh my God.
Oh man. But all of the original art tiers that we have, I need to verify with each of the creators. But like, I'm fairly certain for all of the covers that we've done, the original art will be up on will be up there for sale, and it'll be a whole thing of you get the original art and you'll get whatever cover that is for along with it. Outside of the Rosema one will be a different situation because we are only printing those 50, right? Like once those 50 are gone, those 50 are gone. And the Rosema art is he was the prize pony for the covers on this one.
And trust me, that's not the first time in my life I've been called a prize pony.
I don't doubt it.
and we can put out a whole book about that later. But
oh goodness!
So we've got a great campaign coming up with this. So if you don't know enough about this just yet, keep your eyes open. I am about to start posting about the page that we have for Nine Realms. To go ahead and get people over on there so they can pay attention to what's going on, and so you can go ahead and get on that mailing list because you really need to get on there to go ahead and be made aware whenever they launch.
Speaking of that, let's give them a little bit. I sent you an email with some images that are interiors from the next book already lettered.
Awesome. Let's see. Oh, we can't see them now?
That's what we're going to do. We're going to put them up.
Oh.
And we can even show that one page that I sent you that I was like, this has become my new favorite page of Elysian Fields.
Oh, by the way, real quick, while you're doing that, Phil, I just want to say now, I don't mean to embarrass you, Mike, but isn't that the most freaking coolest title of a comic, Elysian Fields? I mean, when I saw that, when I heard that, seriously, I thought, this guy understands Greek mythology. Not many people know that that's the land of the dead, and
yeah,
And I thought,
it's their equivalent of like heaven. It's where all the badass warriors go and hang out.
And I just thought, okay, if that's the name of the book, I've got to see what this is. I mean, and so for those who are familiar with Greek mythology or understand the whole mythos, or even those who don't, I mean, how can you not be captivated by a title called Elysian Fields?
Exactly.
Now, it's not the same as Hercules bench presses a mountain, but
no, of course not.
It's definitely good.
Can't compete with Hercules bench presses a mountain.
And that'll be the sequel. That'll be the Elysian Fields 2, Hercules bench presses a mountain.
And Scott, you're doing our logo redesign, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Now, you're talking about the one that has the different panels in it, correct? The email?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got that up here. So I just want to make sure because I've got stuff from other people and from you a little bit. And I'm like, okay, which one is it? So let me go ahead and share the screen. And let's take a look and see what we got here.
All right. So this is our main cover of the book. That is done by the very talented Marcelo Oliveira Costa.
Very nice. Very nice.
Everyone can see there is a ton of detail in this thing. This is not lacking in anything.
No, he is so good at his freaking job. It's insane. It blows my mind that he sends me 2 pages at a time. And so here we have Nergal, the Mesopotamian god of the dead, right there, that lion guy. And then we've got Hades.
Yep. And I like how you underplay Hades so he doesn't look like the traditional that you would always see on there, but you can still tell that he's got a lot of power that he's just holding back on. You can just see that just from that one panel.
And so you see a little bit of Achilles is having some issues fighting
Oh,
Gilgamesh.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And the other thing I remember saying to Michael was that I like the fact that the artwork is clean. It's very clean.
Yes.
And it's got these powerful colors that aren't over rendered, and and the thing is that's something that really makes it stand out with today's comics, because so often the comics are so over rendered.
Right.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Super saturated with excess color that it's hard to enjoy it. But here you're taken in right away by the storytelling and the clarity of the imagery, so that you're not distracted by way too much eye candy. And I love that.
And so there's a cool tidbit on that last page that was up there. Achilles is given this little bit of a monologue as he's kicking the crap out of Gilgamesh. And I talked to Phil about this. That my whole setup for that speech was I kind of wanted to write a spiritual successor to Achilles' "There are no pacts between lions and men" speech that he gives to Hector before he kills him. And I think we really fucking hit the ball out of the park on it. It turned out really good.
Very, very much.
Yeah, I greatly agree on that. I mean, it came out really well. Now, Mog Park has joined us. So we've got celebrity artist in here as well. And she could come in here and said, "Hey, Phil, Scott looks like your older brother."
I did see that, and I chuckled a little bit.
I'm assuming that's a compliment. So we'll
go with that. Yes.
Oh, wait a second. How come I'm the older brother? I mean, I just.
Scott, I love you, man. You're not fooling anyone.
Damn it, Phil, get to bed.
But it is. I mean, it's a great, issue 0 came out, and it was actually underplayed because it wasn't well known enough until getting towards the end of it. And then it made goal, surpassed goal, got out there. It got into people's hands. And there have been a ton of people that I've noticed online who are posting that they got the books in because they are so flippin' gorgeous.
Yeah.
So the only reason I didn't do that with mine, I did a post that I got it in, but I did not do the review because I wanted to do that with you present at the time.
Yeah.
But this is issue 0 that we're talking about. You're about to take it to a whole nother level with Pyramid Gambit. You and I have already talked, and this is not stopping anytime soon. In fact,
no,
you didn't tell me
have plans for
what we're going to.
Yeah, because the initial idea that I had wanted to do with Pyramid Gambit was I had wanted to do like a 200-page graphic novel, and just based off of what we had earned on the last book, we did really well, and I was very proud. I was really humbled. It was a great experience, but it wasn't going to be enough to warrant a 200-pager graphic novel, and so I had to split up the first round of the tournament. So the Pyramid Gambit is the first part of their interaction with Imhotep.
Right.
For those who are not aware, Imhotep is the person in Egyptian history and lore that is credited with making the pyramids. And pyramids are tombs. They're tombs for pharaohs. And so Imhotep traps Team Hades in a pyramid. And the pyramid is the house of the dead. And so it is a multi-layered puzzle that is all about effectively giving in to the inevitable, which is so contrary to heroes to do. And Imhotep is a character that is established right off the bat as he's never lost. Like, Osiris will take bribes from other gods to move past him, but he has not been conventionally beaten in the tournament.
And again, playing that, using that incredibly rich mythology that we've all known, and just, you know, and intermixing them so creatively. Oh God, it's so awesome. Hey, now I have another little special art treat for you guys. It's no Michael Oden sketch, don't get me wrong, but
such a dick. I'm never gonna live that down. It's gonna be 20 years from now.
That happened to be my porn name, my younger days. He said. Okay, now.
Oh, of course.
So now here's the blue line of the cover, and here is the digital inking of the shield.
Nice.
Oh man.
So
that's cool.
That's where I wanted to get that Greek pattern on the edge, really precise and all that.
It looks great, Scott. That's so cool.
And that's just the very start. I got all kinds of things planned, like for Hercules' belt and for the Achilles spear, and
it looks so awesome.
Yeah, that's I think is going to really end up being a lot of fun.
Well, just the shield alone, I mean, it gives it so much more depth, even just to the blue lines on there, just with the shield. You can only imagine with everything else how much more depth it's going to give.
Oh yeah, I'm going to knock it out of the park. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. You're going to love it.
Excellent. Well, guys, I could keep y'all up here all night and everything with this and discussing all this, but
which was another porn name I had in my younger days. Go all night.
I'm going to go ahead and ask if we can go ahead and get you to say where we can find you so they can go ahead and reach out to you and everything. I did go ahead and post the link for Nine Realms Publishing on the Facebook.
Awesome.
So anyone who wants to go over there and join up, please do so you'll know what's going on, because there's a ton of information that's about to be passed through there over the next week or so.
Fantastic.
So go ahead, Scott, if you want to go ahead and start off on this, go ahead and let us know where we can find you and go through there.
Well, apparently you can find me in a shady corner of an old video store. But beyond that, you can find me on Facebook, just that name right there at the bottom of the screen. Scott Roseman. Just take that, put that in Facebook. That's where you can find me. And I'm usually lurking about there somewhere, posting this or that. And so that's where your easiest way to find me these days, because I'm stuck in here. I don't know where to go. So normally I'd be at conventions. Oh, wait. I just thought of this coming Saturday. I'm going to, Jim O'Reilly. Hey, Jim.
Yep.
I'm
just talking about you.
No, I live in Michigan. And Michael, you're over in where?
Virginia. Yeah.
Virginia. Okay. Now I'm here in Michigan, but just south of Michigan, just over the border into Indiana, at Elkhart, Indiana, there is the Hall of Heroes Superhero Museum.
Mm-hmm.
He's run by a very good friend of mine, Alan Stewart. It's phenomenal. Michael, if you ever get to this side of the Eastern Seaboard, you got to check it out. And I'm going to be there.
I absolutely will. I've heard stories. It's
just wonderful. And I'm going to be there this Saturday from 11 to 3 doing a signing. A COVID-19 safe signing. Going to be masks, distancing, everything. But I'm going to be there doing a signing of my art prints, which you can see at my Facebook page. If you go there, it's set on public, so anybody can go there, and you can go to my photo section. You can see all these photos of my artwork. Anyway, I'll be doing that this coming Saturday. Now, before and after that, you can always find me on Facebook.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, Michael, before we get to you, Jim O'Reilly just jumped in here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to him because we had already talked about his work that was in issue 0 and talking about how great it was and everything, and looking forward to what he's doing in the future with everything, because you haven't told me a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I like a little bit of surprises. But Jim does some amazing work, and right now
tremendous.
He's working on Mojo Rising, which is out on Kickstarter. Go jump on that bad boy.
I already jumped on, and the big thing I'm excited. So Jim is doing has written if and correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, since you're listening, but Jim has written and drawn the origin for the Mojo Rising book.
Yep.
And that is starting sometime here this fall, I think, is when they're doing the campaign for that.
I believe so,
and
yeah.
Dude, Jim, everything you've posted from that is just outstanding, man. I am so excited. Like, as excited as I am for the main book, I am excited for yours more so. Nothing against the team for that. It's just
awesome.
His art is so damn good, and like exactly. I cannot stress enough how grateful I am for him doing that pinup, and he even allowed us to use it as the cover of our floppy edition of the book. So like, guy is a real awesome person that just he's willing to do so much for other creators, and he's very humble, and he's one of the most talented people I've had a chance of meeting so far. He's outstanding.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, where do we find you? So, because we've already got some people who are hungry to get this thing.
You can find me on Facebook under Michael Oden. And then, Phil posted up the Nine Realms publishing page, and then follow me at Twitter at Elysian Fields _0. And get on that mailing list. Phil, do we have that link there for the mailing list?
The mailing list? No, I have the Nine Realms over here. The mailing list, I couldn't find it. I don't have it. I have too many tabs open right now. I'll get that as soon as we're done. I'll put it in the comments.
Jim just said, "I'm doing the Origins. Yes, only a variant cover for this Indiegogo. You are welcome, Mike, but my work stinks." As I said, very humble and can be very self-deprecating. I told the story about when he sent me the thing for the pinup. He was like, "Well, I'm not really a colorist, so I guess if you want, you can send the pencils and inks to your guy. I just figured I'd have fun with it." I'm like, "No, Jim.
Awesome.
No, this is the pinup."
Exactly. All right. Well, guys, I had a blast having y'all up here, and I'm looking forward to more. And, of course, I'll be working with y'all anyway because I'm officially on the team working on this. So if anyone has questions, you can go get a hold of Michael if you want to. You can come to me. Whichever way, we're going to get things answered on this, and you're going to start seeing a lot more information coming out about Pyramid Gambit. So get ready.
Now, real quick, Phil, what do you have any kind of a count on what kind of an audience we've had tonight?
Well, being that I'm running on 3 separate feeds on here, it looks like we hit around 27, so a good amount of people.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, this is going to be huge. Which happens to be another poor name I used in the past.
On that note,
Michael is so sorry he got a hold of me. He is
only marginally.
I'll drop y'all backstage. I'll be back there here in just a minute. I'm going to go do my closing statements, and I'll see y'all here shortly. Thank y'all for being here. All right. So we had Michael, we had Scott up here. We had a blast. We had a good time with this. We got to know a lot more information about the current project that's coming up, about the past project that was on there. Dan, it looks like you are hooked on this one, and I cannot blame you on that one. You definitely need to get a hold of this book, and definitely look forward to the next one coming out as well. And like I said, there is no set amount of issues that are coming out. So once you're hooked, you're in. And trust me, it's a it's a good one to be hooked into. So be looking forward to that. So I always have closing statements, and tonight I'm actually going to do something a little bit different than just a regular closing statement, just simply because I am working on the rebrand and going ahead and moving things around and all. So I just wanted to let you all know that, yes, I am working with Michael on Nine Realms Publishing. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of the Nine Realms Publishing coming from me and on my page and everything. Please pay attention to that. More importantly, please do what we do best and support, which means either go over there and help him, by buying something, whatever, but also share. If you can share this out to more and more people, and we can reach more and more people on this, then we can get our voice heard a lot more all over the place. And I've said it time after time after time on my shows that the indie voice needs to be heard a lot louder than what it is. And that's why I have the tagline, keep it indie, y'all. Now, that being said, I will say that with what's going on and the rebranding and all, yes, my show was actually on my personal page. It was on the YouTube. I do have a group set up for the DemoNation because apparently whenever I mentioned about the DemoNation on show last week, it stuck. And I had a lot of people telling me that I needed to go ahead and make this a thing. I made it a thing. I did it over the past 2 days to go ahead and make it a thing. So right now it's under construction. Bear with me, but if all goes according to plan, I should be able to open that up to where the next show will be shown in there on Friday, which is the reveal of my new banner on there for the show. So I will be sending out invitations and letting people know when that's available. Hopefully on Thursday is what I'm looking at. So it'll give me a couple of days to work on that. So if you know a lot about setting up rooms and decorating and putting up pictures and hanging things up on the walls and that kind of stuff, reach out to me because I can definitely use some interior decorating in that room because right now it looks terrible. But you know what? It's my room and I'm happy with it, so I'm going to keep it. So that being said, DemoNation is up and running. And not only that, we are working on some deals on getting that branded out there to where everybody can help me with the ushering in of it in a different way of sharing, in that I am going to be making t-shirts for the DemoNation. So if you are going to be interested in getting a t-shirt, let me know. I will let you know as soon as they are done. But that main banner that's on there right now that shows the DemoNation with the artwork done by Manny Soto, that's the one that I'm going to use for that. So if you are interested, please reach out to me, let me know, and I will get that up and running. That should be probably out in the works within the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a quick project. So that being said, thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for jumping through the hoops and going to the different areas that I asked about tonight and all. Do me a favor, whenever this is done, I need 2 things from you. Number 1, I need you to go to 9 Realms Publishing and go ahead and like the page, jump on there, and start seeing what all is going on. Please do that. Secondly, I need you to share this out. I need you to share this over all of your pages and your different groups and different things like that so that other people can watch this and get involved in what's going on. This is not simply just because I have a personal stake in what's going on with 9 Realms Publishing. This is because I believe in this project. And if anyone ever knows anything about me, whenever I believe something because someone believes in it just as much, then I'll be damned if anyone's going to take that away from me or the creator on that end. So whenever it's demon approved, it is demon approved. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and shut it down for tonight and go ahead and get yourselves ready for Friday because it's going to be a good one. So until then, keep it indie, y'all.